Hello, my name is Joe Rinaudo, and I'm seated before an American Fotoplayer. This is a modified Style 20. They made several models, this being one of the smallest with a single cabinet. The largest known was a Style 50, which had two cabinets and was about 22 feet long. This is about 10 feet wide. What a Fotoplayer does is it made the music, or the sound, shall we say, for silent films. They were first created about 1910 by the Van Valkenburg brothers in Oakland. And it consists of a player piano with two spool boxes. This being the tracker bar and a spool here, and another tracker bar and a spool here. That's so you can cue up two rolls. One roll is playing while one, let's say, is rewinding, so you can cue up music for the next scene in the film. That way keeping the music fairly accurate to match the action. Now, the reason they used piano rolls instead of having a person come in and play by hand, which you of course could do with this machine, the piano rolls freed up the artist's hands to pull the pull chords, program the organ and the orchestral effects, push buttons to activate sound effects and pedals, buttons, pulls, knobs, all kinds of things to add sound effects and orchestral effects to the silent film. These were usually in the orchestra pit, just under the screen. They never were really much taller than 5 feet, low profile, so they weren't in the way of the screen. And the operator had to know the film, of course. He would make a cue sheet, and then he would draw off rolls that would match the screen action. Usually with a stopwatch, he would time things out. Now, I'll go through and demonstrate how this contraption works. Let's start with the pull chords. First one being a chime. Now that could either be a gong, a fire gong, it could be a fight bell, a chime, or somebody getting hit on the head. Now the next one is locomotive. You could do a train. And then of course we have wind, which is the next effect. Or the Curly Howard effect, as some people affectionately call it. The crash symbol for those Chinese scenes. Next one is just a cymbal. Then a bass drum. A tom-tom for Indian music. And then a gunshot. We have here a bulb horn for early automobiles. And on the console we also have a klaxon horn, an electric klaxon. So you can have two cars coming toward each other. For a traffic scene, it just kind of mixes it up a little bit. Starting on the right, we have a cowbell, a la Spike Jones. And then a telephone bell or doorbell. Snare drum, single strike or repeating. How about the horses' hooves? Or somebody knocking on a door. We have castanets for Spanish type of film. Tambourine for those gypsy scenes. And of course you heard the klaxon, and then we have a triangle. Down on the slip key we have here a bird whistle, sleigh bells. And there are some pedals down here. The first one being a police siren or fire siren. A reissue of the snare here, and another bass and cymbal over here, another pedal with a bass and cymbal attached. So the operator could actually play by hand and use his feet to play the traps. This is sustain for sustaining the piano, making it louder, some people call it, and soft pedal for the piano. And then this one is thunder, or timpani roll. Now, up here we have these tabs. These are for the organ. Now you have a piano, of course. Now, you want to hear a principal pipe. That's a principal. Flute. Violin. Tuba. A tuba has a distinct sound. You'd use it for chase rolls, or for, let's say, scenes of pomp and circumstance in a church, or coronations and things. The flute has a very interesting sound, a very nice sound, as well as the violin. What the principal does, principal is like adding salt to a meal. It enhances the sound of any of the instruments that you're trying to play. So let's say a principal has kind of a neutral tone to it. So let's say you want to make the flute louder, you turn on the principal. You want to make the violin louder, you turn on the principal. So that's what a principal does. It kind of backs up the instruments. Now down here we have in the bass register an 8-foot principal and a 16-foot flute. And coupled together, so as you can see, it can be played by hand right off the keyboard. Now this is called a tremolo. What a tremolo does is it causes the air to bounce in the line between the blower and the pipes, giving a very interesting etherical sound. Kind of like a Hammond organ without the electricity. Now, you also have xylophone. So with all of this, there's also a muffler in the middle here which actually turns the piano off, so the organ is more, has a little more of a neutral sound, a solo sound. And the mandolin, of course, which gives the ticky-tack sound of like a barroom scene. With all of this, and piano rolls playing, the picture on the screen, you kind of are kept pretty busy. And of course, these could be used in vaudeville houses. They could play intermission. There's an article I read where this one theater called the Muse Theater in Omaha, Nebraska bought a Style 50 American Fotoplayer. And the opening night ad said, "Come hear our 12-piece orchestra play the feature and listen to the Fotoplayer play the shorts, in other words, the comedy shorts and intermission," which gave the musicians a break. So that's interesting. They went hand in hand. And of course the piano could have been used for either the Fotoplayer or the orchestra. It was very versatile. So thanks to the Van Valkenburgs, we have these machines. They made about 4,500 of them. From the kinetic blower records, we found research has been that there were about 4,500 kinetic blowers sold to American Photoplayers. So we figure since the kinetic blowers were used with Photoplayers exclusively, about 4,500 of these were built. Sadly, only about 51 survived, a little over 1%. And only about 8 or 9 played, which is a very sad thing. So, soon the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences hopefully will have one. And it'll be one of the first to be in a public venue. So, these are wonderful machines. Everybody copied them. Wurlitzer came out with its Fotoplayer, Seabird, Link, Cremona, all made Photoplayers. But from what research I have done, it looks like the Van Valkenburgs were the first from their little piano shop in Oakland in 1910. The logo on the front of the American Fotoplayer is spelled with an F, Fotoplayer. That's because they took the word Fotoplayer, P-H-O-T-O-P-L-A-Y-E-R, and morphed it into their logo with an F. As you can see down here, the name of the machine is Fotoplayer, but the generic term is Fotoplayer Company, because photoplayers were the machines that were created to play for photoplays. Motion pictures were registered as moving photographs. They were called photoplays. So, since this is a player piano, and it plays for photoplays, Fotoplayer was a natural. Do I get my dollar now?